Hello there, thank you for joining us on News Now on Kwara State Television Authority, situated in Akpata Yakuba, Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. You can watch us live on Facebook, Kwara TV Live, on Star Times 113, Free TV 502. I am Fatima Rashid. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) is set to have scheduled a nationwide protest for Wednesday, December 17, 2025, to express its grievance over what it called worsening security in the country. To this end, residents of Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, who spoke to Kwara TV News, gave divergent opinion on the latest developments by NLC. The reports. The security situation in Nigeria has continued to be a source of concern for Nigerians, with many describing the situation as alarming and worrisome. The situation has spread to almost all parts of the country despite various efforts by the federal government to contain the menace. This necessitated the decision of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) to embark on a proposed protest against the rising cases of banditry and kidnapping in the country. Reacting to these developments, Mr. Sheson Jimo, a resident of Kogi State, believes government is doing its best, even though the best is not enough. He proposes a dialogue between the labor union and the federal government to forge a lasting solution.
Definitely, government are trying their best, but at this point, their best is not enough. Let them put more effort to this issue.
Another respondent, Olatunji Olayinka, attributed the proposed protest of the NLC to politics. He believes government deserves time with the current efforts, especially which includes changing the security architecture of the nation, which he says is yielding fruits.
The current step the governor and the federal government is taking, I think they are trying to alleviate the situation, and they should give them time to see things how it goes. So for now, we can see that there have a lot of changes.
For Mr. Oluwole Adiola, the protest is a futile exercise unless the causes of insecurity and their financiers are tackled head-on.
This thing is now dragging and dragging and dragging. And you continue to see, they are spending a lot of money on security. And it's not even, showing at all. The thing is getting worse and worse. So if they want to strike, the strike is nothing as far back as we are concerned.
Musa Aliu, a public affairs analyst in Ilorin, however, welcomed the protest of the NLC, saying the actions Miss the Labour Union is identifying with the citizens in these challenging times.
This will clearly show that Nigerian labor is actually for the people when it comes to the issue of security challenges. And already they've lent their voice to the issues affecting people as far as the insecurity in Nigeria is concerned.
Chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC Kwara State Chapter, Comrade Murtala Said Olayinka, insists the protest is long overdue. He said the proposed protest is to allow the labour union show its grievances to the government over the insecurity situation in the country, insisting the government is not doing enough to equip the security architecture of the country.
We believe the government is not doing what is the needful, because most of the areas that need to be charged, they fail to take necessary actions in terms of purchase of modern days equipment, in terms of security equipment that needs to be used to engage all our military personnel for them to carry out this exercise fully. Complaints have been coming up from that particular area too.
Comrade Olayinka, however, clarified that the protest does not mean the labour union will be down tooling, saying work continues after the day's protest. Fatima Rashid, Kwara TV News. Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has affirmed its commitment to democratic governance in the sub-region. It stated these after the 68th Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government at the State House in Abuja. The sub-region, which announced a plan to impose sanctions on coup makers, decried the coup in Guinea-Bissau and attempted coup in Benin Republic. It announced plans to end airfare taxes in order to deepen and make airfares in the sub-region affordable. Nigeria's eminent businessman Aliko Dangote was appointed head of Business Council. During the meeting, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who urged the leaders to take decisive and collective action against coups, said the security threats can only be overcome through unity, coordination, and a shared sense of responsibility. The president, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, said West Africa's increasingly porous borders make joint action unavoidable, stressing that no single country, regardless of size or capacity, can achieve lasting stability in isolation. President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone, who chairs the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, said there is no alternative to democratic government. He urged the bloc to rebalance its focus by intensifying economic integration after decades dominated by security challenges. And the presidency has rejected claims of weaponization of anti-corruption agencies as put forward by opposition politicians. As we recalled on Sunday, a coalition of opposition leaders accused the federal government of deploying the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to intimidate and weaken political opponents, warning that the trend poses a serious threat to Nigeria's multi-party democracy. In a statement, Bayo Ononuga, special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, described the opposition as failed politicians seeking scapegoats for their shortcomings. He said claims that democracy is under threat because politicians are joining the All Progressive Congress, APC, are unfounded. Ononuga said ongoing investigations by the EFCC has exposed politicians who need to account for their stewardship in office. He said those under investigation are now accusing Tinubu of weaponizing the EFCC for political purposes. Ononuga said prosecution is carried out by the courts and not through political manipulation. He added that those found not guilty will be cleared by the judicial process. Ononuga described allegations of EFCC weaponization as distractions by politicians running short of campaign issues. The Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC has announced plans to prosecute popular TikTok streamer Habib Hamzat, widely known as Pella, following a road traffic crash linked to distracted driving. The Corps Marshal of the FRSC, Sheikh Mohammed, expressed concern over what he described as a growing trend of reckless road use among celebrities, content creators, and social media influencers, warning that such behavior endangers lives and undermines national road safety efforts. The warning followed a viral video showing Pella engaging in a live video stream while driving, an act the FRSC said resulted in a crash. In a statement issued today and signed by the Corps spokesperson Olusegun Ogungbemide, Mohammed described the act as unlawful and dangerous, noting that it could have led to loss of lives. It stressed that live streaming, content creation, or any activities that distract a driver while driving is a direct violation of traffic regulations and poses serious risks to both the driver and other road users. They added that such conduct also undermines ongoing efforts to reduce road traffic crashes and fatalities across the country. Mohammed directed the Lagos State sector of the FRSC to commence prosecution against the individual involved for reckless driving, use of a phone while driving, and distracted driving in line with the existing traffic laws. The Supreme Court today affirmed the constitutional power of the President to declare a state of emergency in any state to prevent a breakdown of law and order or a descent into chaos and anarchy. In a split decision of 6-1, the Apex Court upheld the President's authority under the Constitution to proclaim a state of emergency. The court further held that during such a period, a president may suspend elected officials, provided any such suspension is for a limited duration. Delivering the lead majority judgment, Justice Muhammad Idris held that Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution empowers the President to adopt extraordinary measures to restore normalcy where a state of emergency has been declared. He noted that the provision does not specify the exact nature of those extraordinary measures, thereby vesting the President with discretion on how to act in such circumstances. The judgment followed the suit instituted by states governed by the People's Democratic Party, PDP, challenging the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu, during which elected state officials were suspended for 6 months. The Supreme Court had reserved judgment in the matter in October. The plaintiffs were the attorneys general of PDP-controlled states, while the defendants were the federal government and the National Assembly. And in Osun State, the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN, has announced temporary suspension of its ongoing industrial action. The suspension, according to a statement by Osun JUSUN chairman, Comrade Idris Adedayo, follows progress in resolving the dispute with the state judiciary management. The statement said the suspension was approved by the National Secretariat of JUSUN, led by the National President, Comrade Marwan Mustafa, after consultations and developments recorded in negotiations between the union and relevant authorities. Adeniran also disclosed that the decision was unanimously endorsed by members at a Congress held at the High Court premises in Osogbo on Monday, December 15. It says the strike, which began on September 19, 2025, will be suspended with effect from December 16 to allow members participate in scheduled activities of the Judicial Service Commission. A statement added that eligible officers for the 2025 promotion exercise have been directed to appear before the JSC on Wednesday, December 17, in line with the Commission's schedule. Judicial Chairman emphasized that the suspension of the industrial action was temporary, explaining that it was intended to give room for the judiciary management to address outstanding issues and clear backlog of work in courts across the states. And Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State has pledged more support for the Nigerian Army in discharging its constitutional responsibility of protecting the nation's territorial integrity. He stated this at the 2025 Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference in Lagos today. He also applauded the Army's operations in keeping the country safe. The governor said the nation sees the officers and values what they offer. He, however, urged them to engage with openness at the conference. The conference also had in attendance Vice President Kashim Shettima, the Minister of Defense, General Kishrofo Musa, retired, and service chiefs. It has as its theme examining the current landscape of terrorism through the lenses of diplomatic and military action strategy for long-term prevention and stabilization. The President and Chief Executive of Dangote Industries, Aliko Dangote, has accused the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, of undermining domestic refining in Nigeria. He called for the investigation and prosecution of the agency's boss for economic sabotage. Speaking at a press conference held at the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, Dangote accused the leadership of the agency of colluding with international traders and oil importers to frustrate local refining through the continued issuance of import licenses for petrol products. He alleged that Ahmed was living beyond his legitimate means, saying 4 of his children attend secondary schools in Switzerland at cost running into several $1 million. It says such expenditure raises serious questions about potential conflicts of interest and the integrity of regulatory oversight in the downstream petroleum sector. The Dangote Group chairman assured Nigerians that the pump price of PMS will fall further, stating that petrol will sell at not more than 740 naira per litre from Tuesday, beginning in Lagos, due to his refinery's reduction of the gantry price to 699 naira per litre. He said MRS filling stations will be the first to reflect the new pricing. The Motivating Action Towards Achieving Nutrition Matan Food Bank Foundation, a non-governmental organization, has officially inaugurated e-transportation systems in Kwara State. The initiative, which is pioneering electric mobility project, aims to ease food transportation and reduce its costs. The event was attended by the coordinators of the foundation from the 16 local government council of Kwara State. Fatima Mohammed has the details.
Given an overview of the e-transportation system, METS, the state chairman of Motivating Action Towards Achieving Nutrition, Matan Food Bank Foundation, Ahmed Dekeya, disclosed that the initiative was born out of the foundation quest to meet transport needs of farmers with the use of electric vehicles. He added that the mission is to reduce costs and create job opportunities for the teeming population. He stressed that the initiative meant to be multifaceted with partner transporters and those that can afford it, with a view to making it a success.
The essence of this matter e-transportation is to introduce an initiative in the sense that if we have and put up all the initiatives together, things ought to move and items need to move from one location to another. Hence, their partnership with countries that have opportunity of manufacturing electric car transportation so that it can take care of the needs of mobility around the country.
Earlier in her remarks, General Manager of Matan E-Transportation System, METS in Kwara State, Mrs. Comfort Ololeru, said the vision is geared towards bringing sanity to the transportation sector, ensuring a safer, more reliable and efficient system for all.
I believe that METS is a grand changer in the transport sector, leveraging on electronic vehicles, tricycles, keke napep, cargos, to efficiently move agricultural products from one location to another.
Others, in their goodwill messages, lauded the foundation for the initiative, which they said will go a long way to reducing the cost of transportation.
There is nothing you can achieve without movement. You cannot achieve food security without movement. Is it that the goods, the seeds are moved to the farm, or the people are moved to the farm, or the products, that is the food, are also moved out to the people. And that is where this project comes in to be of help.
The coordinator needs your support, and you too, you need her support. Work very well, and everything we are expecting will be for us in Jesus' name.
I'm sure this initiative is going to push in the effect of subsidy removals from all of those areas, and of course the waivers will even at some times become unnecessary because we don't have to import anymore.
You can see it's very important for eradicating the huge pressure they are facing in the state, even at the nation generally.
High point of the event was inauguration of the executives by the Matan Food Bank Foundation State Chairman and cutting of cake. Fatima Mohammed, Kwara TV News.
And that concludes the news now on Kwara State Hydro Authority. Thank you very much for being a part of it. Please stay tuned for your Lirifi with Hawa Dauda. I'm Fatima Rashid. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your evening.
kúrọ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀yin aráalé àsìkò iṣẹ́ tòní ìròyìn lérèfé lámútọ̀yìn wa láti iléeṣẹ́ ìmúmáwòrán ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara tó kalẹ̀ sí àpáta Yakuba nílùú Ìlọrin. Hawa Dáúdà nínú ìròyìn ẹ̀kú ìkàlẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ ilé wa NLC ti pinnu ìwọ́de ìfẹ̀hónúhàn àpapọ̀ yìí tí yóò wáyé ní ọjọ́ 17 oṣù kejìlá ọdún yìí láti fi ṣe ìgbéyànjú ẹ̀dùn ọkàn rẹ̀ látàrí àìrájàjà ààbò tó ń bá orílẹ̀-èdè yìí fínra. Àwọn ènìyàn nílùú Ìlọrin tí ṣe olúlu ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara ti sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìkọ̀ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ yìí lórí èròǹgbà ìdàgbàsókè yìí látọwọ́ àjọ NLC. Aṣojú kọ̀ròyìn wa Fatima Rasheed jábọ̀ wípé ipò tí ọ̀rọ̀ ààbò wà lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní rí àríwísí látọwọ́ àwọn ọmọlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà pẹ̀lú bí àwọn orílẹ̀‐èdè ti ṣe kọminú lórí ipò orílẹ̀‐èdè yìí. Àìrájàjà ààbò tó ti tàn ká gbogbo àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tó kárí orílẹ̀-èdè yìí pẹ̀lú akitiyan ìjọba àpapọ̀ ló ti pè fún ìgbésẹ̀ látọwọ́ àjọ òṣìṣẹ́ NLC láti ṣe ìkéde ìfẹ̀hónúhàn tako ìwà ìgbésùmọ̀mí tòun ti ìjínigbé tó gbogbo lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Nígbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìdàgbàsókè yìí, Sẹ̀san Jimoh tó jẹ́ olùgbé ìpínlẹ̀ Kogi ní òun gbàgbọ́ wípé bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé ìjọba ń ṣakitiyan rẹ̀ ó ní ṣùgbọ́n ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó tó sì pè fún ìfikùnlukùn látọwọ́ àjọ òṣìṣẹ́ àtijọba àpapọ̀ lójúnà àti pèsè ojútùú sí àìrájàjà ààbò tó ń dojúkọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ẹlòmíín nígbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìkọ̀ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ yìí Ọlátúnjí Ọláyínká sọ di mímọ̀ wípé ìwọ́de ìfẹ̀hónúhàn ọ̀hún ló nílò kí ìjọba ó túbọ̀ tẹpá mọ́ akitiyan rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àfikún pé àyípadà tó wáyé ní kòpẹ́kòpẹ́ yìí lágbọn ètò ààbò ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sòsò rere báyìí. Ní ti ọ̀gbẹ́ni Olúwọlé Adéọlá, ó sọ wípé ìfẹ̀hónúhàn ni kò jẹ́ nǹkan kan àyàfi tí ohun tó ń ṣokùnfà àìrájàjà ààbò àti àwọn tó lọ́wọ́ nínú rẹ̀ bá jẹ́ èyí tí ìjọba gbájúmọ́. Musa Aliyu, ẹni tí ṣe olùyànnàná ọ̀rọ̀ kan nílùú Ìlọrin ní tirẹ̀ tẹ́wọ́ gba ìgbésẹ̀ yìí látọwọ́ àjọ NLC tó ṣe àfihàn àìdùnnú ọkàn rẹ̀ tó ń bá ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí fínra lákòókò ìpèníjà ààbò. Ẹ̀wẹ̀, nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tirẹ̀, alága ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ nípìnlẹ̀ yìí ní Comrade Murtala Saheed Ọláyínká sọ wípé ìgbésẹ̀ ìfẹ̀hónúhàn yìí ló yẹ kó jẹ́ èyí tí yóò ti wáyé tipẹ́, pẹ̀lú àfikún pé ìwọ́de náà ni yóò fún ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ yìí láǹfààní láti fi ẹ̀dùn ọkàn rẹ̀ hàn lórí ipò tí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà wà, èyí tó sọ wípé ìjọba kù díẹ̀ káàtó níbi ríró ẹ̀ka ààbò lágbára. Comrade Ọláyínká yànnàná rẹ̀ wípé ìwọ́de ìfẹ̀hónúhàn ọ̀hún ní kì í ṣe èyí tí yóò mú iṣẹ́ dẹnu kọlẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ ọ̀hún, ṣùgbọ́n tí iṣẹ́ yóò sì máa tẹ̀síwájú. Iléeṣẹ́ ààrẹ ti jiyàn ẹ̀sùn kan tí wọ́n fi kàn látọwọ́ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú alátakò wípé ìṣe ló ń pèsè ohun èlò ìjagun fún àwọn àjọ tó ń gbógun ti ìwà àjẹbánu ìyẹn EFCC. Ìrántí wà wípé lọ́jọ́ Sunday tó kọjá lọ yìí ní àwọn adarí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú alátakò fẹ̀sùn kan ìjọba àpapọ̀ wípé ó ń lo àjọ tó ń gbógun ti ìwà àjẹbánu nílẹ̀ wa EFCC láti dúnkùkù lájà àti pàápàá mú ìkúrẹ̀tẹ̀ bá àwọn olóṣèlú tó jẹ́ ti ẹgbẹ́ alátakò, pẹ̀lú àfikún ìkìlọ̀ wípé ìgbésẹ̀ yìí ló ń dúnkòkò lájà mọ́ ìṣèjọba ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Àtẹ̀jáde gbàtọwọ́ olùbádámọ̀ràn pàtàkì sí ààrẹ lórí ètò ìròyìn àti ìlànà ìyẹn Báyọ̀ Ọ̀nánúgà ṣàpèjúwe ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú alátakò bíi èyí tó kùnà tó sì ń wá ẹni tí wọn yóò fi jíyìn òfin. Ó sọ di mímọ̀ wípé ìṣèjọba àwarawa ló wà lábẹ́ ìdúnkòkò mọ́ látàrí bí àwọn olóṣèlú ti ṣe ń ya kúrò nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú olóṣùṣù ọwọ̀ tí wọ́n sì ń darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n sì ń darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú tó ń léde lọ́wọ́ báyìí yẹn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú olóṣùṣù ọwọ̀ tí a mọ̀ sí APC. Ọ̀nánúgà ṣàfikún rẹ̀ pé iṣẹ́ ìwádìí tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́ báyìí látọwọ́ àjọ tó ń gbógun ti ìwà jẹgúdújẹrá nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ìyẹn EFCC ló ti tú àṣírí àwọn olóṣèlú tó nílò láti ṣe ìṣirò ohun tí wọ́n gbèsè lákòókò tí wọ́n wà ní ọ́fíìsì. Ó tẹ̀ ń pẹ̀lẹ́ mọ́ pé ìgbẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún ló wáyé látọwọ́ ilé ẹjọ́ ṣùgbọ́n tí kìí ṣe ọ̀nà àlùmọ̀ǹkọ́rọ́yí òṣèlú rárá, pẹ̀lú ìfikún àwọn tí ó jẹ̀bi ní ilé ẹjọ́ wípé ẹni tí ilé ẹjọ́ bá rí pé kò jẹ̀bi ni wọn yóò ṣí ìkànnà lẹ́yìn ọrùn rẹ̀. Onanuga ṣàpèjúwe ẹ̀sùn ọ̀hún gẹ́gẹ́ bí èyí tó lè ṣini lọ́nà látọwọ́ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú tó sì ní ọ̀rọ̀ náà kì í ṣe èyí tó dára rárá. Àjọ àpapọ̀ tó ń rí sí lílọ bíbọ̀ ojú pópó tí a mọ̀ sí FRSC ti kéde ìpinnu rẹ̀ láti ṣe ìpìlẹ́jọ́ fún gbajúgbajà adẹ́rìn-pòṣónú orí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára TikTok yìí ní Habib Hamzat tí gbogbo èèyàn mọ̀ sí Pella látàrí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìjàmbá ojú pópó tó fi ń ṣe ìdàláàmú fáwọn ará ìlú. Ọ̀gá àgbà àjọ náà Shehu Mohammed ló kọminú lórí ohun tó ṣàpèjúwe rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwà kò tọ́ tó gbogbo tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe àṣìlò ojú pópó látọwọ́ àwọn gbajúgbajà adẹ́rìn-pòṣónú orí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára, èyí tó ṣe ìkìlọ̀ wípé irú ìwà bẹ́ẹ̀ ló máa ń ṣàkóbá ìjàmbá ẹ̀mí àti pàápàá tako akitiyan àjọ FRSC. Ìkìlọ̀ náà ló tẹ̀lé fọ́nrán fídíò kan tó ṣàfihàn Pella tó ṣe lákòókò tó ń wakọ̀ èyí tó ṣokùnfà ìjàmbá ọkọ̀. Àtẹ̀jáde gbà tọwọ́ agbẹnusọ àjọ ọ̀hún Olúṣẹ́gun Ògúngbémidé. Mohammed ṣàpèjúwe ìwà náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí èyí tí kò bá òfin mu tó sì léwu pàápàá pẹ̀lú àfikún pé ó lè ṣe ìpàdánù ẹ̀mí. Ó ṣàfikún ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ wípé ìwà ìmọ̀ ṣàfihàn fọ́nrán fídíò lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára lákòókò tí ènìyàn bá ń wa ọkọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ló léwu púpọ̀ àti pàápàá pé ó tako òfin ìrìnnà èyí tó lè ṣe àkóbá fún olùwakọ̀ àti àwọn olùrìnnà lójú pópó. Ẹ̀wẹ̀, Mohammed ti wá pa láṣẹ fún àjọ adarí FRSC ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó láti ṣe ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ìgbésẹ̀ ìpẹ̀jọ́ tako ìwà kò tọ́ yìí tí Pella hù lákòókò tó ń wakọ̀, lílo ẹ̀rọ ìbáraẹnisọ̀rọ̀ alágbèéká lákòókò ìrìnnà ojú pópó àti àwọn ìwà míì tó tako ìrìnnà ojú pópó. Ìròyìn lérèfé kò ní jù báyìí lọ fún tìrọ̀lẹ́ ní ẹ pàdé wa fún àlékún ìròyìn tó bá di ní aago 8 alẹ́. Ẹ má gbàgbé iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara tó jẹ́ ti àmóhùnmáwòrán lẹ́lẹ́rìí lórí StarTimes channel 113, Free TV channel 502 àti bákan náà bó ṣe ń lọ lórí Facebook @Kwara TV. Ṣùgbọ́n kí tó dìgbà náà kọ́ Hawa Dauda ló ń kí wa wípé ó dàbọ̀.